Hey guys, Mel here, and I wanted to show you how to create a custom preloader for your storyline course. If you're wondering what a preloader is, it's kind of one of the telltale signs that you are using storyline and your published file is a storyline course, and I'll go ahead and show you. If I refresh, you can see that little gadget in the middle there, that's the loader. And what I'm going to do is change that using some code, and we're basically just going to use some HTML and CSS and use some loaders that are already created to change that loader that's right there on this. And as you can see, I have this cool animated video background here. I have another tutorial on that, so you can check that out too. I'll make sure to link to that. But let's go ahead and get started on creating a new preloader for this course here. So what we're going to do is I have already the site that has a ton of different loaders here. And we're going to go ahead and do this snake loader that's down here. And we're going to open our HTML5 file. So what you want to do is your published course, you want to find your story underscore HTML5 file, and you want to open it in Sublime Text or any kind of a text editor or code editor that you have. The other piece of this that you want to do is you want to open your CSS for your mobile, because the HTML5 file is your mobile file. So what you want to do is go into your published files again, go to the mobile folder, and then open your CSS for the player. And that's where the loader is going to be really customized. So for this, what we want to do is we want to change out the loader styles. So we want to go to find, and one of the things that you're going to look for is loading. So you want to find loading, and as you can see here, there is a loader here already that's an image, and we can just get rid of that, or there's an alternative to this. You can also put an image in for your loader, but we're not going to do that. So I'm just going to delete that. And then you can see down here this dot loading. So that's your class. And so that's what's going to kind of create what your loader will look like. And that's tied to something in our HTML5, but we'll worry about that later. So the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to edit some of this animation out. So you can see there's a bunch of animations. This is basically telling that loader that you saw before how to animate. And we don't want that right now, so we're going to get rid of that and just delete it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to that snake loader, and I'm going to copy the CSS for that. So everything from this second one down, I'm just going to copy, and I'm going to go and paste that into under my dot loading class. So as you can see, we've got all of this in here. We've got some issues with the syntax, but we've got all of this in here, but it's under loading, and you can see these are IDs. And we want to change these IDs to match this up here, so the dot loading. So I'm going to change these all to dot loading so that they all match and have the appropriate styles with them. And also here I want to change this to loading, and I have an extra bracket there, so I want to get rid of that. And then I think I am missing a bracket here. Let's make sure. I think I want to close the bracket out here. So there we go. And I want to change this to loading. Oops. All right, so we've got all that ready, but we're also wanting to change a few other things. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we save, so Control S, and we also want to make sure that in here we change the HTML. So as you can see up here, our div ID is preloader, but we changed all these preloaders to loading. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy all these span tags here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to change the HTML now. So go into your story underscore HTML5 file, and then we want to find that loading piece here. So as you can see, this is just default when you're published. it's going to have the span ID as loading spinner and the class is loading. So the class is loading, and that means over here too that those two things are matching. So these styles are being attached to this tag area here. But what we want to do is basically change these spans to divs, and then we're going to put spans in between them. And we don't want to close that div tag. I don't know why I did that. Let's just through that, and we're going to put our spans in here. So I'll paste those spans in, and we want them all to be aligned perfectly. And then we can change this to divs. So we'll make sure this closing tag is a div. All right. So that looks pretty good here. Let's just test this out. So let's save our story underscore HTML5 and also save our CSS, and let's see what else we need to change. So you want to go back into your folder and go out to your HTML5 story file, and then you want to open it and test it out. So you can see, pretty cool. Although it loads really quickly, you can see that it's changed. So it doesn't have that same loader there, but it's blue. Maybe we don't want it to be blue. So something that I would do is I would go and change out to a different color, and maybe we'll use, I think orange might be nice. Orange is one of my favorite colors, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. Let's go with this burnt orange here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the CSS, because that's where we're going to change what our loader looks like, and we are going to change the color of that. So you'll see that under the span we have the background color of this, and this is that blue color. So we want to change that out to orange, and we want to make sure that hashtag's there because it's a hex code. We're going to save it, and let's go ahead and see that again. So you can see we've got that orange. So this is like the third time I'm trying it, and I haven't used a really big file, so the loader has not taken too long to load, so I haven't seen that animation. So what you want to do is, if you do have a bigger file, you may want to play around with the code and see if the animation works appropriately. Just because I haven't been able to do that yet, I'm not sure if the animation quite works, but it's still kind of cool to have something different in here. So I hope this is helpful. I'm going to post all the links for all of the resources in the post, and let me know if you have any questions.